Now that is a jingle.
It's very special.
Actually, I'm getting a little cold, I think.
Are you?
Sore throat, yeah. It must be walking around NAMM, Dan.
Hey guys, welcome to the NAMM O'Clock News. I'm Dan here.
I'm Mick here, hello.
Very good.
We've got this awesome studio, as you can see.
Yeah.
No expense spent.
Michael, please tell us what is NAMM?
NAMM is an acronym that's been around since the 1950s when all the gear companies came to Anaheim in California, and maybe somewhere else, and did this massive music convention, and it stands for Not Available, Maybe May.
NAMM is something that I've heard about since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Right? And it was living in Australia. You would dream of, maybe going there one day. So it's always exciting to be here.
I did my first NAMM in 1998.
Really?
So this is potentially my 20th anniversary had I been every year, but I haven't been every year. But anyway.
Amazing.
The show officially starts on Thursday morning, but Fender Custom Shop has an event on the Wednesday night, which is an invite-only thing, and we were lucky enough to get invited up to Fender to have a walk around and look at some of the amazing guitars. It's just a spectacle of incredible custom shop guitars, Strats, Tellys, Jazzmasters, P-basses, the whole thing. So anyway, we've been walking around today, doing stuff, seeing what we can see, and there'll be more shows, so you'll be watching this on Friday. There'll also be a show tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, and it would not be that pedal show
if there wasn't people above us making a crazy amount of noise.
Yeah, it happens in that pedal shed, and it's happening here in Anaheim, California. There's somebody building a house upstairs. So there we go. It's just, you could not make it up.
Fantastic. Okay.
Right.
We're going to go to the Vemuram booth, and we're going to see Josh Smith hanging out with me. Over to me. Hey guys, we're at the Vemuram booth, NAMM 2018, and we are here with the incredible Mr. Josh Smith, who's coming over to the UK very soon. We're very excited.
Hey, I can't wait, man. I can't wait to do the show with you guys. I'm so psyched.
It's going to be wicked. All right, so you've done a pedal with Vemuram?
Yeah.
All right, take us through it.
Okay, so this pedal, we're calling it the Myriad, which you'll understand why shortly. The simplest explanation, it's a parallel fuzz and loop with a parallel mixer. So you have a dry input and a wet output. Well, dry input, dry through. So that goes to 1 amp. The second output is wet, gets the result of the fuzz and the loop, which are independent from each other.
Right.
And both can be blended via the mix knob or expression pedal.
Very cool.
So you can put a delay in the loop, a chorus, an octave pedal, blend it in. You could have just the fuzz on, blend it in. You could have both, blend them in.
Okay, all right, show us.
Okay, so first I'll show you. Right now we're going to the 2 amps with nothing on. So the fuzz in this pedal is like an interesting fuzz. It's germanium and silicon. They're parallel, and you can bias both.
Right.
We're going to have a switch which will kick the fuzz to the dry, so then you can use it as like a complete standalone fuzz while still blending the loops separately.
Okay.
So that's why I called it Myriad, because it has a lot of options, right? So right now, if I kick in the loop, now there's no fuzz, because the fuzz is now in the loop with the mixer. So. My idea for that I've been messing with forever was to use my Chula, my main pedal, and have my sound be unaffected, and then while I'm just be able to get that at any time by stepping down, even if it's just a slight amount of dirt. Right? My idea was put a delay, a tape echo or something, full wet, and you could blend it with the fuzz. You have it barely in the background going to a 2nd amp. And if you just use 1 amp, you just come out the wet output.
Okay.
And you still got the blend, and if this is all the way down, it's just dry pass-through basically.
That's fantastic.
So
fantastic.
It's unique. It's unique.
Yeah, love it. All right, brilliant. Thank you, buddy.
Thank
All right,
you,
we'll
man.
see you. We'll see you in the UK very
See
soon.
you next week.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
So our morning got off to a fantastic start. Listening to Josh Smith play the guitar is never a bad thing.
Oh my goodness, he's coming on the show.
He is, yeah.
Yep.
He's going to be in probably not very long after this comes out at all.
The 7th of February, and he's also playing Swindon that night.
It's my mum's birthday. Happy birthday, Mum. Yeah, so the day started off really well, and then we went to Strymon.
I bet you didn't know I could do that.
What?
My keyboard skills. Are you kidding?
Oh, that! Yeah, sorry. There'll be some horrific continuity errors in this whole thing because we can't remember anything about what happened today. Anyway, so unfortunately we couldn't catch up with Pete as we normally do at NAMM to show us new products. But actually, Strymon's new product is something that we simply don't understand. It's got about 1,000 mini jacks on it. What's it called? I've got some notes here. It's called the Magneto. It's a 4-head tape echo and loop machine and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they basically expanded on the El Capistan and made it for that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, yeah, but it's for that special thing with keyboards.
Yeah, it's not a tube screamer. Let's move on.
We did see our friends GFI today. We've been big fans of their Specular Tempest.
Yeah, new friends. Cause
new friends.
Not a brand we'd really heard of. GFI System, isn't it?
From Indonesia.
Oh yeah, the Tom Waits gag.
That's it.
Yeah. He has a consulting business in Indonesia. Is that right?
Very good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Something like that. Yeah.
So they do have their new clockwork delay, the new Specular reverb.
Which I'm guessing is the reverb out of the Specular Tempest. Because the
I'm
Specular
guessing.
Tempest is reverb and delay,
Yes,
isn't it?
but they also have their cab Zeus. And we are doing a show soon on cabinet simulators.
Yep.
And I thought that was very cool. So let's have a quick listen.
One thing about checking stuff out at NAMM is that it's impossible to hear.
It is like being punched in the face with sound
Yeah.
all day long.
Which is great if it's one sound, but it's about 9,000 sounds. So when you plug in a new pedal and you're walking around checking stuff out, it's really difficult. And we've sort of done our fair share of making loads of demo videos, haven't we? And I think this year we decided for the NAMM O'Clock news, it's impossible to hear anything anyway.
So we're going around saying, yeah man, it's amazing. We have no idea.
To be fair, all the manufacturers say that as well, don't they?
Yeah, you can't hear anything. The rule is you need to play at 85 dB when the room sound alone is 90 dB.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we did go and see a couple of new guitars at Duesenberg.
Yeah, so
And,
we
oh man,
regular viewers will know that one of our favourite guitars just recently has been the Duesenberg Bonneville. And Duesenberg lend us guitars, thank you Duesenberg. But then they asked for them back, which is less good. No, but Andre is a great guy, and he said he wants to send us one of these new models, and I'm looking down at my notes, it is the Julia.
that is absolutely gorgeous.
Chambered mahogany body.
That crazy pickup system they've got.
Yeah, it's got a new, so they reckon they finally cracked the single coil and humbucker in one pickup. So jury's out on that because no one's done it yet. So let's see.
Yep.
Let's see if they can.
It does look beautiful.
It's called the Split King dual coil pickup if you want to look it out. And the guitar's called the Julia. Very, very cool.
Fantastic. Then we went and saw our friend Adrian Thorpe, and I should say friends because our dear friend Mitch Keane was there as well. Let's go and have a look.
So we've come 3,500 miles, actually 5,500 miles, to see.
A couple of guys that live next door.
Yeah, to see a guy who lives just down the road. It's Thorpy, who has 2 new products for NAMM, and also this is an old family reunion because Mitch helped us on production of all the early pedal shows. So it's family.
It's emotional.
Yeah. So Thorpy, you've got 2 new things.
Yep, 2 new things. The first one is the Fat General, which is a compressor. It's based on Dan Coggin's OTC 201, but with a lot of tweaks to it. So it's a parallel and non-parallel compressor, optical, sounds bloody awesome with a treble control. So.
As we always say on the show floor, it's virtually impossible to hear anything. So sounds great.
Thank you. Right. So the second pedal we've got is the T-Medic, which is a Class A buffer, active 3-band EQ, boost, more boost. It fixes pedalboard woes. So here we go.
Super interesting, which leads me to a thought which we'll pick up when we're back in the studio. Thank you very much, Thorpy.
My pleasure, absolutely.
Just a quick addendum. Mitch is playing Patrick James Eggle electric guitar, and Patrick James Eggle is right here. Patrick and I are old friends. We don't talk very much because I'm so rubbish at keeping in touch, but it's good to see you, mate.
Yes, you are, but I still love you.
We have to get one of your guitars featured on the show, because they are, if anyone is making the best guitars in England right now, it's him.
Thank you very much. You will have a 96 within the week.
I've got to say about Thorpy, what an amazing thing Thorpy has achieved in a super short space of time. To come from essentially nowhere, not having been established
You
in
mean Swindon?
To come from nowhere and having established a brand and a really good range of products. What are they doing up there? What are they building up there?
I don't know, but I am going to go have a look.
They have
It must be
subscriptions
awesome.
to those magazines.
But
He has a dog no one has seen.
Thorpy, when he came out, his... We're battling with this upstairs at the moment. It's hilarious.
You couldn't make it up. You couldn't make the BBC don't have to suffer this, do they?
No. We've flown halfway around the world to sit here and be in exactly the same situation.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, nice job, Thorpy. Right, where did we go next? We went to
Walrus Audio.
Walrus, yeah.
And thank you, Mick. So we're with Colt from Walrus Audio. Big fans of your stuff. Use the Yaya P7 almost religiously on the show. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You've got a new reverb pedal.
Yes, we do. It's the Fathom. It's a 4-algorithm reverb with 2 traditional settings, Hall and Plate, and then 2 more custom Walrus settings with Lo-Fi, and then Sonar. And Sonar is like an octave reverb. So, yeah.
Ooh, octave reverb. Okay.
We saw a few reverbs today. It's exploding, isn't it?
The reverb thing.
The reverb thing everywhere.
It's the ambient thing.
Yeah.
This taking the musical world by storm.
Yep, Joe Bonamaster's favourite style of playing. What is it? What marks a great reverb out for you then? Because to me, as not a user of those huge, great spacey digital reverb sounds, are they all in danger of sounding a bit the same?
It's a really good question. There is, what I find you can have two reverbs that sound very similar, but in a mix, the really good one will stand out far beyond the average one. And it's not always that detectable when you hear them side by side, but definitely when you have that other ambient noise level going on, the really good one will stand out. And there's something that with the reverb from Walrus, there's a lo-fi mode, which squashed all the frequencies down. It sounded fantastic. Even in that dense noise of NAMM, you could hear this. It was fantastic.
And actually, to be fair, that's a question you could ask of overdrive of distortion.
Of course. Absolutely.
Okay, moving on. Right, where do we go next?
Okay, so we saw Synthetix today. We've had the Synthetix analog delay on, which is really impressive. So we met the designer of Synthetix.
Synthetix is a Chinese brand, make very nice stuff, and they have a sub-brand called CKK.
Right.
The CKK make pretty nice pedals, not far north of about £100 UK.
Yeah.
And we saw, what do we see? Yet another reverb, an infinite reverb, and an anchor distortion. So we're going to get those on soon. But I think all the CKK pedals that we've seen so far, QCat, was that CKK?
Yes, that's right.
It was an envelope filter.
Yep.
Was very good.
Yep.
I think they could be one to watch because they've got pretty good distribution in the UK.
Yeah, and having a chat to the designer today, he's very switched on.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely one to watch.
Yep, absolutely.
Our dear friends from Crazy Tube Circuits.
Constellation Fuzz.
The Constellation Fuzz.
This was cool. So regular viewers, or indeed anyone fans of JHS pedals, will remember the Muffaletta pedal, which is still a part of their range, which was all the big muffs.
They've done a new one, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
In one pedal. And they've done it with the Tube Screamer again, which we'll talk about in a second. So Crazy Tube Circuits have sort of done that with the Constellation Fuzz, and there are 6 presets in that pedal, which are a fuzz face, various tone benders, a range master, and then the range master into the fuzz face.
The tone benders was awesome.
Yeah, some really cool sounds.
Yep.
And I love that. I love that seems to be a theme that's emerging where, you know, you've got single sound pedals and you've got multi-effects, and then what's emerging in between all of that are just these sort of variation pedals.
Yeah.
Where you can get, and they are as far as we understand, they're pretty much the right circuits.
Yeah.
But all in one pedal.
Yes. No, it's very interesting.
It has been said that Dan and I like a fuzz pedal, so as we've just heard, Crazy Tube Circuits Constellation has 6 different fuzz circuits, all available off a little switch on the front there. Dan's going to play the fuzz face. Back to the studio.
So we met up with your friend
Yuki Hayashi.
Yuki, the legend that is behind the brand Free the Tone.
Thank you, studio. So here we are at the Free the Tone booth. Got a really cool thing that's just come out. This is an analog programmable 10-band EQ. I think that's very clever. And Mick's found a 2-rock.
Yeah,
surprise.
I found a 2-rock, so I'm happy. There's a new, these are new, that kind of look from Free the Tone, and there's a couple of overdrive pedals. One is a Fender-y type sound, one's a more Marshall-y type sound, to be totally reductive about it. So let's have a listen.
You've plugged straight to the amp, you've bypassed the pedal.
You know, when you've been doing this for so long,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yuki, man.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you guys. That's really nice. That is really, really, really nice.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Yuki from Free the Tone, the man himself.
Hello.
Much more martially, much grittier, and it's got a high cut on it as well.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, that's fantastic. So back to me.
Then we made our way over to Catalinbread. We are still trying to get our hands on the Bell Epoch Deluxe because that looks fantastic. But they did have the Bell Epoch preamp.
Yeah, it's called the Epoch Pre.
The Epoch Pre.
Which, according to Catalinbread, is the preamp and the mixer section out of an EP3.
Awesome.
Super interesting because, as we've covered many times, a big sound of those classic delay pedals is the preamp section.
That's right. Speaking of classic delays,
nice link.
Like that?
Yeah, I do.
So I went and saw our friend Kiko.
Yeah.
At Gurus Amps.
This has been exciting. So when Dan and I did the Binson Ekarek issue, edition. I still, my brain is still in magazines. It's been a long day. I'm very tired. Ekarek edition with when you went up to Soundgas and got the original magnetic drum. It's the sound of David Gilmour. It's the sound of so many really cool things. Gurus from Italy did the Echo Sex, which we sort of brushed over it a bit, didn't we? Because it only had the one head, and then. Dan and I went to do a thing called Guitar Breaks in Tuscany.
We did.
And the Gurus guys came along, Kiko came along and it was kind of a tonal awakening for me, just some of the clarity and the depth and all those things that we like, dynamic range and all of that. However, it still would have been nice to have 4 heads in that Echo Sex. Lo and behold, what's the model number? Let me get this right. T7E.
We developed this with collaborated with Alan Parsons because because he said one very right thing. He said when we tried this on the voice, he said, "Wow, just spectacular! The same effect we used in the '60s." But he said we are now forced to use VST because anybody wants to use an original Binson, an original noisy unit on a modern producing track, So we made it able to work, stack it with audio quality stuff. Okay. So we made a preamp with an insane linearity from 7 Hz to 161,000 Hz. Okay. So it's a total linearity. And but it's basically like the old Binson.
What did the valve do in it? There's a valve in it.
So the valve is in the preamp section.
Oh.
Yeah, it's great.
In my never-ending quest for the right delay, that's it.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So, it's ending.
Had a quick look at Diamond. Diamond is a brand that we haven't had on the show nearly enough.
We should do more Diamond stuff.
We should, because their pedals are consistently fantastic. I did put a diamond vibrato on Stephen Wilson's board that he absolutely loves, and it's it's basically the modulation section out of Memory Man.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds magic.
They're from the People's Republic of Canada, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes, that's it. So the news from Diamond is, looks, finally some news. Some of the big chassis pedals have become smaller.
Okay.
Which isn't really news, but it's certainly practical and helpful.
Yeah.
They did have, again, I need to check my notes here. So some of the bigger pedals have shrunk, and there's a new fuzz octave.
Nice.
Which we didn't get to hear, but hopefully we can get some stuff sent.
Nice.
Now, one really exciting thing today is we met a guy called Arnold who had a D&M drive bag.
Oh yeah, that was
cool was
awesome. Right, so from there, we jumped over and saw Josh Scott.
You may remember that we did a show with Josh back in maybe last year, 2017.
I heard it was the best show you've ever done.
At least the best show we've ever done. So I'm happy because Josh has done a Tube Screamer pedal with or at least a pedal inspired by Tube Screamers with loads of Tube Screamer circuits in, and some other stuff, haven't you, Josh?
Yes, we have 5 total things for this NAMM, and they're all really proud of them. A lot of hard work and super cool, super cool.
Okay, so where should we start? I see we've got some smaller boxes on pedals for a start.
Yeah, let's start over here. Let's start on the output of the board. So we have the version 2 Emperor. This is an all analog Bucket Brigade chorus vibrato. Then we have the Unicorn. The Unicorn is a Univibe.
Yep.
You can say that with me. The Unicorn is a Univibe. It's the only on Earth still photocell fully analog Univibe with tap tempo. Then the Panther Cub 2. So we had the Big Panther, Panther Cub, Panther 1.5, and now the 2. So this is redesigned, and this is most drastically different from these new versions. You have a full wet mix if you want to use this as an insert in Pro Tools or something, or just like old Memory Men and stuff, you just max it out with no clean signal. You have an EQ so you can brighten or further darken the Bucket Brigade, because this is in the fashion of these, all analog circuitry, Bucket Brigade chips, and tap tempo. Then the Andy Timmons version 2. It's the exact Andy Timmons that everybody has lost their mind over, but we got with Andy and designed an input boost by his specs. So there's your drive, and there's the boost with an independent knob. And then this is the Big Daddy here. This was 3 years of a study in the Tube Screamer. So you have the OD1, 1977, which is the first Screamer. Then the 808 came in 79. Then the TS9 is from 82. The MSL is the metal Screamer, the Power Series.
Right, okay, yeah.
There's nothing metal about it. But the metal Screamer was made for 1 year in 1985. Then the TS10, John Mayer has caused that to be valuable. Nobody cared. Now they do. My favorite is the XR. I started collecting this brand from Poland called XR, EXAR, and that's an XR OD1, and I've only seen one of them ever. I'm still looking for more, but I put it in there. TS7, you remember the silver boxes with the push-in buttons? Like Korn used them, and like Limp Bizkit? Well, the TS7 Screamer has a hot mode. That's my favorite high-gain Screamer ever. And then Robert Keeley's Mod Plus, that he's done forever, killer. And then my strong mod that I've done since 09-ish. And as you turn this, it's not emulating anything. It's exactly replicating it with all analog signals and railways. So it is literally, when people kept asking, do you have anything like a Tube Screamer? Well, yes.
I think we should hear it.
Yeah.
Josh, thank you.
Awesome.
in the craziness of NAMM. We can't hear anything. Josh, it sounds awesome.
I believe it sounds really good.
We can't wait to get it back to the shed and hear it through some amps. Yeah. Okay, back to the studio.
So we've caught up with the new brand, Beatronics.
Yep, new to us anyway. I don't know how old they are. But
Yeah, our dear friend Ariel Speedwagon.
Yeah, Ariel Slidewagon. That's all.
Yes!
In Canada, he's known as Guitariel.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now he's
Ariel
Slidewagon from this point forward. Okay? You heard it here first. Sorry, Ariel.
And we did catch up with Ariel today as well.
Yeah, he was making nice noises on the two-room booth.
Walk past and break his fingers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so good. Anyway, these guys had some really interesting pedals, and we're getting some for the show, and we'll go into some more depth on them there. But this is the first time I've seen someone produce a relic pedal.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
But if you've ever known anyone that's designed a pedal and put it into production, you get into really boring questions like, what knobs shall we use and can we get enough of them? If you're Beatronics, you just don't worry about that, and you get any old knobs and you put them all on any pedal.
Yeah.
So cool.
So we're going to get them on the show and have a look, but yeah.
Excellent.
Very, very cool. Then we ran into Bernie Marsden.
Well, we did.
That was brilliant.
Well,
you know Bernie, right? Because I've never met him before.
Yeah.
I've come close because he was going to come down to the TPS Live with Joey gig, and he didn't make it. And I was all excited, but I finally got to meet him today, and he has promised us that he's going to come on the show.
Yeah. Now he had there was a pedal on the floor with his name on it, but I wasn't sure if it was actually going to come out or not.
Right.
Anyway, Bernie's having some discussions with a few companies at the moment about signature pedals and stuff. So, it'd be nice to get him on the show to talk about that.
Awesome. So a company that we've had on the show loads, Victory. We've always been big fans of their amplifiers. They have released some preamp pedals.
Yeah, regular viewers will know that I'm pretty tight with Victory and help them shoot their videos and done demos and stuff for them. And I know the guys really well. And I have heard their preamp pedals before today, Daniel.
Yes.
That's not a lie.
Okay. Well, I haven't. It's the first time I heard them.
It's quite exciting. So what Victory are going to do, they've got a unique approach to putting 4 valves in a pedal. To my knowledge, I don't know anyone that's put 4 valves in a preamp pedal before, and I think they're pretty keen. I know they're pretty keen to stress that these are preamps. They do work as pedals, but they're specifically designed to hit the effects loop return.
Thank you, studio. So here we are with the amazing Mr. Martin Kidd, chief designer, engineer, and all-around hero from Victory Amps. I just thought we'd take a minute just to appreciate the silence.
Yes,
the wonderful working atmosphere.
It's lovely, yes.
Anyway, you've designed the new pedals.
Yes.
Very excited about them.
Yeah.
Please tell us about them.
I rather like to call them a preamp more than a pedal.
Okay.
Because they work better as a preamp. They can
Do you mind if I call them pedals?
You can call them pedals because that's what they are, but they're a preamp pedal sort of thing. Yes, and they have 4 valves, which are they're all the same, and they're a small signal pentode.
Right.
I shall tell you no more than that, because no one else is using them as far as I know. And they're designed to mirror, if you like, the preamp sections of our existing lunchbox amp range.
Fantastic. So we've got the Countess, the Kraken, and the Sheriff.
Behind me, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What are we plugged into now? The Kraken?
Plugged into the Kraken, yeah.
Right.
We're going into the power stage of the V30 Mark II.
So we're not using any of this?
No.
Okay.
That's just the output stage.
All right. Is the master still engaged on this, or is
Yes, the master volume
master
is,
still
yes.
engaged? All right,
Yeah,
brilliant.
and the master on that too. So
Okay. So at the moment we're in the clean channel of the Kraken, is that right?
it's the lower gain. It's not really clean. It's
Okay.
low gain.
All right.
Lower.
This way. Very nice. Very nice.
The pedal's engaged now?
Pedals engaged. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
It sounds like there's a load of headroom in there.
There's
Sounds like there's a lot of headroom.
there is, yes. There's a fair bit, yes. and this particular power amp doesn't have a negative feedback, so it's quite sensitive and quite loud as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, let's have some gain then. Because of course I'm known for my heavy gain playing, you know, Martin.
Very promising. And yes, I do know the Victory guys, but they're very promising. Proper preamps, proper valve preamps, hitting effects, loops, return.
We met Andy.
Hey, finally! Andy, who used to be from Pro Guitar Shop, now works for Reverb because Reverb bought Pro Guitar Shop.
Yeah, Andy Martin.
Yeah.
Andy Martin is certainly the reason that I started shooting my old videos.
Yeah.
The guy is a proper legend.
He is to guitar YouTube videos what Henry Ford was to making cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was a real honour to meet him today. So he has promised us that he's going to come over and hang out, which is just going to be the best thing ever.
Too cool.
Too cool. What? You know what's been missing from the guitar world?
I was just about to say the same thing. If it wasn't an orange D&M drive bag, because that was clearly needed.
It's a scratch and sniff.
You don't even have to scratch it. You don't even have to scratch it. They just smell. Cables.
Cables, guitar cables.
Honestly, I walked up and I was like, is this for real? And there we are.
It was very cool.
I think it's some sort of social experiment.
Yeah. I remember in the days before smoking was banned and your gig bag would stink of cigarettes because that stuff was very porous and it would take
your PA, your guitar amps, everything just...
Yeah. So maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe it was designed 20 years ago, it's only being released now. But
there was mint, lemon maybe.
Chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate, which nobody wants in a scratch and sniff, do they? Let's be honest. Oh, sorry, no, you don't have to scratch them. They just smell. And he reckons they'll smell for 5 years.
One amp that was in a couple of booths today was the new Two-Rock
Traditional
Clean. Oh my giddy aunt. Even in the den of audible inequity.
Yeah, you can hear it in the Free the Tone.
Oh my goodness.
And Josh Smith was playing one, wasn't he? And somebody, I think we played 3 today, which was quite a nice...
Yeah, and they had a bunch of new models there.
They've done an amp called the Bloomfield Drive, which is clean channel and a drive channel, and the drive channel is that kind of cascaded gain thing, which is the sort of thing you would find in their TS1, which is their Dumbley amp. However, this one's got reverb too, and interestingly, it's also available in a 6v6 40 watt 112 combo, which if you ever played a 100 watt Two-Rock, you know that not everyone can really use that.
Right. Actually, and let's just shout out to Eli and to Mac from Two-Rock, because I think what they've done with Two-Rock is
they've put it back where it needs to be. Yeah.
Just magic.
Lovely amps.
Well done, guys.
We won't hide our enthusiasm for Two-Rock amps.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Finally, we went and saw the guys from Gamechanger Audio. Now, last year they came out with the Plus pedal. This year they come out with the Plasma Drive pedal. It's a very interesting concept, and they presented it in a very interesting way.
Here we are at Gamechanger Audio, and I'm with Ilya, who we met last year of Plus pedal fame that we had on the show, and Ilya's from Latvia, and he's come back with a Plasma pedal. It's all shrouded in mystery. All these guys are dressed in black suits, looking super sharp. So
I'm glad you like it.
There must be a connection here. Ilya, tell us what's going on.
All right, hey everyone. So we're back at NAMM. 1 year has passed since we started the company. We're back with a new product, setting up the next booth, showing up with a completely new pedal that nobody has ever heard of. So thanks to you guys, I hope everybody will get to see Plasma pedal. So what this does, it transforms the basic guitar level signal into a 3.5 kilovolt discharge within a glass tube. So this tube is filled with xenon gas. Right, so basically, if you can give me the old E chord there. So
discharge tube part of the audio
Exactly,
circuit?
yeah. So guitar signal gets converted into electricity. High voltage electricity goes through the tube. The tube is filled with xenon gas, and basically then it creates the light effect and it goes to ground. And then built inside of the pedal, there's an antenna that picks up the electromagnetic interference from this xenon tube, and that gets transformed back into an audio signal.
Ilya's looking at Dan and I in the way that he's probably looked at everyone else who he's explained this to, going, you don't understand a word I'm saying, do you? So we're kind of halfway there, I would say.
I don't know, it's not that hard, but if you want, you can put some crickets in the mix later on.
Back to the studio.
Okay, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Let us know if there's anything that you've heard about at NAMM that you specifically want us to check out. But massive thank you to our preferred retailers, which in the UK and Europe is
Anders's Music of Guildford, Surrey, who are walking around today making loads of videos. In fact, if we've mentioned anything today and you want to see a full demo of it, they've probably done one.
Yeah.
So go and check out, what are they doing up there? They've probably done a really good one. Just in case my lavalier mic didn't pick up whatever was falling through the ceiling there. I think they're doing some refurbs, aren't they? Anyway.
I've never been in a room with so much ambient noise ever in my life.
Yeah, well, it could only happen to us. Yeah, go and check out Pete and Lee and all the guys shooting for Anderson's. They'll do some great videos.
We also ran into Joe from Rift City.
We did, and Ellen, who's Joe's daughter, who works at Rift City as well. It was great to see those guys.
Fantastic. And we also saw Matt.
Yeah, Matt was around.
Matt was around today.
From Pedal Empire in Brisbane, Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was the NAMM O'Clock news. We're sorry there wasn't any weather or sport, but we don't really do that. So we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.